as you can see. I am so glad to be here with you today. We're going to have a wonderful guest on the program with us. Her name is Emily Bell. She is an R&B aficionado, shall we say, an R&B aficionado. She loves music. She loves the sound, the beat, and everything. She's going to be joining us very shortly, and we're just going to have a really good time with her. And wait, she's got one of the best giggles I've ever heard. I mean, it's almost childlike, and it's really so wonderful. Hey, is that you coming in with us? Okay, as I said, we're still learning how to do this, and I don't know if it's working or not. They're always trying to put something new on me, but and I'm willing to learn new things at all times. I certainly am. You know, you can't be too old or too fancy or too uppity to think that you know everything when you don't know crap from apple butter. You know, what you putting up there? Oh, okay, let me shut up talking. Okay, so I want to talk about the love of music. I was reading this article the other day, and it says that uh, what do we hold on to from our childhood and what's important to us? And one of the important things that I found out about adults, they said that adults like old school music. I don't care, you know, from whatever era you were born in, we like the music that we grew up with because it allows us to remember the good times, remember the fun times when you were in the park, hanging out with your friends, playing ball, or the first time you went to a nightclub and you heard a cool song and made you just get up and get on the dance floor, you know, because you get up, that's my tune, that's my cut, that's my jam. And you get up, and sometimes as we get older, I mean, I love all music. I really do. Well, I take that back. I don't particularly care for gangster rap. I don't, particularly want to hear all them cuss words, and it just seems so angry, and just, I understand about creative outlets. One of the things that happened to the public schools that started thwarting our artistic and our artists was taking arts out of school. I mean, that really hurt a lot of people, and it really hurt us as a society because when when you got, and look, teenage kids and teenagers, they have energy. I look at the little kids running around in the store and in the park, and I'm just like, oh my God, just watching them. If I could just have a tenth of their energy, a tenth, I still have the curiosity of a kid, but a tenth of their energy. Whoever coined the phrase, youth is wasted on the young, you know what? That's really something, because you always think, if I knew then what I know now, I would have, I could have, I should have. But we don't get that. We don't get that blueprint. We don't get that map. We get what we get, and we roll with what we get. And music from our childhood, from growing up, falling in love for the first time or the 10th time. You always remember your first love, But I bet you, they always say you remember your first love. So does that mean that after the first love, you forget about everybody else you had ever been involved in? I'm just asking a question, because I kind of sort of remember. I remember a lot of my relationships, and some of them, they were not relationships, because if they were, you would remember them because you'd have fond memories someplace, and the good memories, and even some of the bad memories. The music comes up, and you just can just close your eyes and just go right back into it. You remember how you swayed together. You remember how he felt next to you. You remember how she felt so close. Okay, I'm having a flashback. Okay, open up your eyes, because ain't no telling where that conversation was getting ready to go. See, this is what music does to you. It allows you to remember. It allows you to embrace. And sometimes it brings up, as I've gotten older, it's more seasoned. I'm not older, I'm more seasoned. I listen to some of those. I know this is really bad. I listened to some of the songs that I grew up with, and I was like, and this day and age, and the way the mores have changed from the music. I mean, you listen to the music, and when I was growing up, our music made us happy. It made us sad. It made us think. I mean, I remember Gil Scott Heron and the Last Poets, and they told us the revolution will not be televised, and that brought us into another level of consciousness. And so then that music would go right into and fit so well and has fit so well into a lot of our a lot of our protests nowadays. I mean, we saw Black Lives Matter and people in the streets as our young black men were being slaughtered and our brown men were being slaughtered by the police, and people not seeming to have uh, a sense of importance for other cultures. And so therefore, that's what we always want to pick at each other. Or you too fat, you too tall, you too thin, you too this, you're too smart, you're not, you too dumb. You got to drive an ugly car, you drive a great car. I mean, we need to learn to love. First of all, we need to learn. Here we go. First of all, we need to understand, to learn ourselves, to learn to love ourselves, to learn what and appreciate about yourself the good thing and the not so good things. And music makes you do that. When we were growing up, we would get up in the morning and we would get up to people like Ella Fitzgerald singing. We would get a tisket, a tasket. I didn't even know what a tisket was, but the music was great, and she would scat, and it just sounded like she was mama. And everybody does it. We could wake up to Duke Ellington. We could wake up to Miles Davis. And we woke up to Miles Davis. We knew that was going to be something that you better start walking on eggshells. And all of the music seemed to have a meaning, to resonate from her childhood and from her adolescence and adulthood. And she and my father gave us, and people in our family gave us a love to appreciate music, to appreciate the sounds and the vibrations, and to appreciate the fact that this music is going to take us through. It's going to get us through this trauma, get us through the heartbreak, get us through what we've missed. When I was going to college, oh my God, you couldn't tell me. Think about every song back in the early 70s, if you can remember back that far. And if you weren't even on the planet yet, if you weren't even a gleam in your daddy's eye, listen to what our music said to us, so that you can learn to embrace the music from your generation. When I was Michael Jackson and them were, taking the world by storm. And here's a kid, he about knee high to a grasshopper. He's got a beautiful little voice, and he's singing songs about love and deep pain, and he could exude that emotion. And and I know, how old was he? What, 10, 11, 12 years old? He probably, we found out later, he didn't even know what that meant, but not in his age group, but he knew in his spirit. He knew he and his brothers and his father and his parents and all the people that were around him, they could see that in his spirit. And I mean, he could sing it, just have it, who's loving you? Listen, he when I found out this was a child singing this, I was like, you know what? I'm not mad at him. And I'm glad that he could sing it with such passion, with such exuberance, to draw us in. And here he is, he's a kid, and I'm a college student. And I've often said, learn from everybody. Don't just shun people away. Learn from everybody. I can learn from a child, from a teenager, from an adolescent, to an adult, to grown people, elderly people. I can learn from the drug dealers on the street and the crackheads and the alcoholics. What those people taught me was, you don't want to be a drug addict. You don't want to do a lot of drugs, because that's a really expensive habit. And like I said, I'll go to Vegas maybe and give up $20 if I feel like if I could. I'm not a gambler like that. Listen, I gamble on life. I do all kind of outright, well, not so much anymore. I think I can do outrageous stuff. But my brain will say, go ahead. You think you can do that? Go ahead. And my body will go, oh, that was a mistake. I don't know what made you think you could jump up on that branch and climb up in that tree again. I don't know what makes you think you could jump up on that pole. That's when I got a little older. I was a kid when we were all out there in the bushes and carrying on. I'm talking about when I got to be old, when I got to be more seasoned. And then you realize, I don't necessarily know that my taste in music has changed as much as I can do it on here. As much as how do I do that? Okay, we're having a little technical difficulty. Okay, so, okay, should I move over? Welcome to our live program. That's Mr. Kennedy. If any of you are ever wondered what he looked like, just put your face down there just for a minute, honey. He playing engineer.
Hi.
Told you he was fine.
Okay.
Okay, my boo.
Okay. Cool.
We gotta fix this. But in anywho, music is the soundtrack of our lives. I listen to the oldies, and I can remember Michael Jackson singing "Who's Loving You." I could hear him singing "Off the Wall," "Live Your Life Off the Wall." I honestly thought that they had made that song specifically for me. And don't you sometimes feel like the artists have made a song for you, just for you, just because every word, every sound, every tune, everything you can relate to so well, and it's okay.
As you call them.
I'm calling you.
Hello.
Girl, oh, finally, we got Emily. This is Emily Bell on the phone. She is our R&B soul music aficionado. Listen, and we are just so glad that you are finally able to join us. And let me move all the stuff out the way. So, people, Emily, my dear, tell people about yourself. Where were you born? Where were you born? Where'd you come from? You got brothers and sisters? What you doing? You like dogs, cats, or rats?
Yeah, Sharp Hospital in San Diego.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. You were born in San Diego. You're a native Californian. So now do you have brothers and sisters? Tell me about your family.
One brother who thinks he's king.
Don't they all?
Yes. Especially when they're older.
Oh, so you're the baby.
Yes.
So do they kind of, still do they kind of do? Did you get baby when you were growing up? It's just the two of you and your brother, and your mom and dad.
Yes.
So what was it like growing up in San Diego for you, and being the baby?
It was nice. It was me, my brother, my parents, and our dog, who we liked to play with her a lot.
Uh-huh. So
And then a lot of school, a lot of homework, and a lot of school.
uh-huh. So were you an apt student?
I was. I was alright. I was B's and C's.
So you did enough to make it through.
I did my homework both in Braille and in print.
Oh, well,
So
okay.
yeah.
Wait a minute, because tell people about I don't call it a disability, and you don't call it a disability. It's just one of your senses did not work. And tell us about that growing up, and tell about your situation.
It's I was born total, but if you know nothing else, then all you know is total. So it's more like hear, feel, smell, and sound without sight, but I've never had any sight.
Mm.
So everything else I can do with minor complications on some things.
Mhm.
Scared of water
Really?
and scared of bees. Those two. And then fast moving cars.
Yeah, so you can hear them coming fast then.
It feels like it's coming at you.
Oh, wow.
Because I can both hear it and feel it.
Oh,
Yeah.
the vibrations and the sounds, and so
Right.
when you said you did your homework in Braille and in print, how were you able to accomplish that?
Dad had got me a computer when I was really young.
Uh-huh.
And so I learned to type on there. Also, a big typewriter that I had to carry to school.
Hmm. Like one of the old-fashioned kind of typewriters?
Yes.
And you had to carry it to school.
And so it was, carry both the Braille and the typewriters to school in a couple of backpacks.
Uh-huh. So now, as you're going to, did you go to a regular school and they accommodated your sightless, or did you go to a school for the blind?
I went to regular school with teachers who helped me with the Braille part of it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Was it hard to learn at
They
first?
didn't do my homework. Yeah, it took 3 years in my childhood. Braille did.
Mm-hmm.
And print, that was just a matter of typing.
Mm-hmm. So you type really well. I noticed that when I get your emails. And I'm like, now how does she do that? How do you do that? How are you able to like send the emails? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay. I put the a piece of tape on the F and the J as far as regular typing on the computer, and I type 85 words a minute.
Oh,
that comes with years.
85 words of that. People are are employers looking for you with that skill set?
Not sure. Not sure. Yeah. They're looking for me more for Braille skills and receptionist skills. Typing is included in that, though. But where they look for me for an actual typist, that I don't know.
Okay.
Especially now.
What do you mean, especially now? I mean, with the advent of the internet, everybody can find everybody.
Right. No, I mean, just with how the technology has come a long ways, I don't know if they have much use for typists.
Because you can pretty much talk to the computer and it'll type up what you say, right?
Right.
Okay, and see some of that, they talk about the greatness of AI. And I don't know if it's AI that doesn't understand sometimes, or if it's the person that is at submitting the information into the AI. Because when I do the when I call and talk instead of leaving, where it comes up in the print, the computer will come back and the text will look like somebody was. I mean, the letters aren't right, the words aren't right, and you kind of got to decipher. So I'm wondering if that's because the person is not speaking clear enough for the computer to understand, or the computer isn't interpreting what you're saying by the way that you're pronouncing words.
I just type it without using AI or anything. Just type on the computer and then send it. Like I don't correct or anything, because it makes mistakes all the time. And it's like, I did not make a mistake like that. That thing made a mistake, and I'm not going to be laughed at like that. So I don't use AI to spell check.
See, this is what I'm talking about. And I love spell check. And I don't understand how people can send out ill-spelled emails and texts and documents, and all you gotta do is click a button and say spell check. But they don't. They don't. And then you got to decipher what they mean from the email. So I just end up usually calling them back because I don't understand what they're saying. One of my nephews, he's always sending me text messages, and I'm like, what were you talking? Well, I was talking to the computer, Auntie. I'm like, can you just pick up the phone and let me answer the phone? So what is your take?
Because it'll get some of it wrong.
Right, right. He was trying to tell me something about.
It's dumb.
That's why it's called artificial intelligence. I mean, it's all well and good. We got to keep up with technology and what have you. I get that, but it seems like what the people that are creating AI don't seem to understand is, yeah, you can have the machines build your cars. We go into the ladies' bathroom. And I'm just saying, with all this technology, we don't have to pull down a toilet seat because a little machine will come around and wrap the little plastic around a toilet seat. Then you sit down, and then you get up. Before you get up, it automatically flushes. And then then you go to the sink to wash your hands, then the water automatically comes out, and then you come down with the paper towel thing. I'm like, how lazy do we need to be?
Yeah, it's making us lazy.
I mean, that you cannot.
Some of it has the intelligence of a dinosaur.
Why you want to pick on dinosaurs like that? Leave them dinosaurs alone. They serve a purpose. Get off the mastodons. Okay, but I don't. I'm like, why do I need to? I can put down my own toilet seat still. I can flush the toilet myself. I know how to protect myself from germs and what have you. I know how to go in and wash my hands. And see, this is another thing to get me. You know how we go to the ladies' room and there's a line, right? And so you're waiting your turn, and then you see when women come out the stall.
Uh-huh.
A lot of them don't stop by the wash bin to wash their hands. I'm like, oh, we know not to be touching on her, you know. And it's such a simple
That's
thing.
nasty.
But they didn't, yeah. But they've taken that away from us. I mean, and I think the computers, for the great things that they do, they can also be very damaging. And a lot of people, I mean, especially for young, impressionable minds, because our grandchildren told us, well, you know, if it wasn't on the internet, it didn't happen. And I was like, what do you mean? Well,
Yes,
it did happen. Well, see, you got to broadcast it. You got to put it online so other people can know that you did it. And I'm like, well, some things I don't think other people would need to know what I did and what I do. I just don't see the earnestness that young people have with, I got to be out there. I got to be out there. Somebody got to see me. How many likes did I get? How many views did I get? How did I get upvotes? I'm still trying to learn what an upvote is. I'm still trying to learn, you know, the technical aspects of it. I mean, because you work on the computer a lot. What is your take on the way that AI is going, and what do you believe are the pros, and what do you believe are some of the cons as they come? More things are getting automated.
It's making us stupid on one hand and smarter when AI is so new. I'm not sure yet, but that autocorrect is a pain. Yeah. And then no matter what they do, they can't give it a soul. It's amazing. It'll tell you how to spell certain things, or, you know, like Alexa, when it talks to you, and sometimes it misunderstands and says, I'm sorry, I don't know that information. Okay.
I'm like, well, that's the one I get all the time. And I'm like, wait, well, maybe I'm asking it the wrong question. So I'll reword it, or this is the one to get me.
Yeah.
When you type in what it is that you're looking for, and the window pops up and it says, "What did you mean?" and it'll write out exactly what you said in the bar that what you were searching for. So I'm like, so the computers can be very, very redundant, and you got to think artificial intelligence.
Right.
You said it's so new. It's been around for a long, long time. You know, think about NASA. They were using AI and computers. Mathematicians, they were using AI and you know, changing the algorithms of whatever that, you know, that's a program. So it's been around a while. It's just has gotten so much more sophisticated, and I honestly think a lot of the people who are creating these AIs, you know, some of them I don't think ought to be created, and this is one of the things, and that's why the SAG-AFTRA and the Writers Guild are on the picket lines right now, because the studios want to utilize artificial intelligence, for instance, by taking an artist's name, image, and likeness and mannerisms and putting them into the computer, and then the computer AI does all the work. You know, you could put in the AI computer, make me a story about Emily Bell and Mother Love, and it'll come back to you, and you'll be like, oh. But what if you have to still input that information? It does not have a soul, and that's where I believe
Right.
human beings will always be superior to a machine. I don't care how sophisticated they get, because somebody got to plug them in, and somebody got to turn them on, and somebody got to maintain them, because they don't have a soul. And they got a new movie coming out.
Right.
It looks kind of like
It
very.
helps us do wonderful things, but we have to control it.
You have to control it. I think one of the good things that has come out of well, that's robotics, and I think isn't that robotics are different than artificial intelligence. because you have to make, you have to make that robot move. And so they got a movie coming out called The Creator about a little kid. And, I'm going to watch it just to see, just how far they think we can go with this, and listening to the powers that be that are saying these big, giant, multi-gajillionaire investors are telling people to invest in artificial intelligence because it's going to explode and become the biggest money maker. They're going to make 17 billion new millionaires, and it's going to do this, that, and the third. And I'm like, that's seen, because they're talking about an IPO, an initial public offering for it, and to get in on it now, and it is blowing up. And I think, okay, because do you think in your heart of hearts that we can slow this down so we can catch up with the rules and regulations, because AI is moving too fast?
Yeah, it's going a bit too fast, but
that's where.
Wow. Yeah, it is going a bit too fast, but we have to learn to keep up with it too, and then maybe slow it down so that we can catch up.
I think so too. I think the internet laws, the technology is moving faster than the laws. I mean, we had to wait till something very tragic happened to families and these young people with the bullying online to get even a law on the books that say online bullying should be against the law. I mean, why wouldn't they think of that? But this is what's happening. And so we're talking to Emily.
Crazy.
It is crazy. We're talking with Emily Bell. She is an R&B aficionado. She is a blind woman, and she has never had sight. And she sees a lot better than some people that have sight do. Because, we all have heard that when you lose one sight, your other senses heighten up. You never lost your eyesight because you never had it. So do you think, though, that your senses are far more astute than others who do have sight?
I think I just pay more attention.
Mm-hmm.
The ears are the most fascinating because it's like you can't hear that in the music, and it's so obvious to me. I think they just don't pay attention. That's just one example.
Okay, now speaking of music, tell us what got you. Where did your passion for R&B music start?
At 7 and listening to my brother's cassette tapes, and it started with Lakeside, The Whispers, Cameo, and I can go on and on. And then it really took off when I took the radio dial at 12 to 92.5, which is the soul station we have over here. And that was it. I started collecting, and I've been collecting for 30 plus years, still collecting now.
What kind of what's your biggest collection? Who's your biggest artist in your collection? Well, everybody you just named were like powerhouses, so.
Starpoint, that's one. There's so many of them. Marvin Gaye.
Oh.
Minnie Riperton.
God rest her.
Starpoint and Minnie Riperton.
Oh. You know.
Those two are the biggest. I have everything they did.
Really? What attracts you to the music?
Yeah.
What attracts you to the music? And do you love other music?
The rhythm and the love of it. All that love that was put into that music, that and the rhythm.
So it's all about the rhythm and the beat.
Yeah, and the love.
And the love. Because
right,
go ahead.
Right now you hear music, a lot of times there's no love in it. I don't know what it is now.
What, the R&B music?
A lot of it, not all of it. Some of it is coming back. It is coming back, but it's not promoted. They're promoting that junk.
Now, what do you consider junk music? Because I think a bunch of it is junk. It's just a bunch of noise and people jumping up and down. And, I miss going to concerts where the artists were like dressed to the nines. Now they just come up in their jeans, t-shirts, ripped up pants, like they just rolled out the bed, don't comb their hair. I'm like, they just go, seem like they go out the bed, on the truck, on the scene, to the go to the sound stage to do a sound check, and then a couple hours later they go eat, take a nap, come out, and they got the same clothes on. I mean, you could not. I mean, you think about
And
it.
they cannot sing.
See, but
They can't sing,
we,
nor can they play music.
are you insensitive to the? Remember when we went through the techno sound when they were putting everything through a sound? Well, they still kind of do that now because you can hear these songs on the
Yeah.
radio, and they are really really nice songs, and then you see these people in person, and it's them in concert, and I'm like, they gave me comp tickets, and I want my money back. They don't sound like the recording. You can see it, and they do a lot of voice. I'm gonna say it, voice enhancement modulation, where they can enhance your voice with this keyboard and make you just sound all perfect and beautiful. And then you get there, and you're like, "What are they? Did they just wake up?" I didn't know. I didn't know. And so I'm really particular about the concerts that, well, I pretty much don't go to too many concerts because they're too loud. This is when you know you done got seasoned. When you're around the young people, they're jumping up and down, they're screaming, the music is loud, you're like, this is too loud, sit still. Then you have to check yourself. You need to get out this concert. Now you know you don't have any big.
Yeah, and they can't play and they can't sing, or it's not a cassette tape, but a track. And it's like, where's the band? Where's the music? Not to mention they can't sing or play. That's the other thing.
See.
They just do it with that auto tunes.
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, and it sounds beautiful. It's beautiful. But it sounds fake. It is. You find out it's fake when you done paid $85, $95 up to some tickets they were selling for who knows how much. Beyonce, she was just here for a three-night concert because when they sold the first concert tickets, sold out in like 4 minutes. The second, all three of them were completely sold out. One lady said, and I love me some Beyonce. I think she is truly a phenomenal entertainer. I have seen her live, and I'm telling you, she was worth, people put worth on who they like. And there was this one lady, she took her 14-year-old daughter, who is like an absolute total Beyonce fan. And she said, I got us $1,500 a piece tickets because I wanted my daughter to see a superstar up close. And she got tickets like real close. I'm like, that is amazing. I saw her one time, and she wore 12-inch tall. See, this is why you could tell great entertainers from the bad ones, who need all the stuff. She was walking down the stairs and these giant stiletto heels, and she was stepping. She tripped. She fell down. She didn't miss a beat. She didn't miss a note. Girl, she got right up and kept right on moving. We gave her a standing ovation. I was like, oh, yes, that's it. That is it. And a lot of people don't seem like they're into it so much like that. They want the fame. They want people to, get their social media numbers up. But then when they get out there in public with them, some of them can be really, really nasty to their fans. And what the kids say, they'll cancel you real quick. They, tell all their friends, don't go to their concert no more, because this is what they said. This is what happened to me. Now, have you had the opportunity? I brought that up to ask you. Have you had the opportunity to ever meet any of the stars that you love their music?
Bootsy Collins. Oh my goodness. Long story short.
No, wait. Hold it, Emily. Wait a minute. You done brought up Bootsy Collins. You done brought up the Rubber Band Man. You can't just bring him up to Mother Love and say, oh, long story short. Nah, I want to hear Bootsy Collins' story. Girl, my son, when he was little, Bootsy Collins come on, and he would just start jumping up and down like he was on a rubber band. And then people start calling him Bootsy, the Rubber Band Man, after Bootsy Collins. When we go back to our hometown, everybody calls him Bootsy. And he was like, Well, where'd that come from? And then when he does hear that nickname, he goes, "Oh, they've been knowing me since I was born. I ain't nothing I can say about that. Okay, I'm Bootsy. How you doing? Tell me the Bootsy Collins story."
Uh-huh. Here's my Bootsy Collins story. On Facebook, he had made an announcement that he was going to be at Amigo Records in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked my friend and neighbor Mona if she'd drive me.
Mm-hmm.
She said yes. So on January 31st, she drove me, and we wait in line, and I enjoy the smell of the weed and the smell of the other things. And we got there, and then Patty, Bootsy's wife, met us there, and she gave me a hug, and I hugged her back like she was funk in living form. And we talked a little bit. One subject, her perfume. I really liked it. I still want some of that perfume. Anyway, she hands me to Bootsy. I hug him like he's funk in living form. And I said, I showed him my MP3 player. I jammed to you with this on the bus, and he starts laughing at me, and it was just, I was thrilled.
I don't think he
I
was.
was thrilled.
I don't.
And,
I don't think.
I thought I could.
I don't think he was laughing at you. I think he was laughing because of you, because you touched his soul just like he touched your soul. That's not laughing at, that's laughing with. To have a fan like that come up to you and tell you how much they love you, man, you can't beat that with a stick. You cannot beat that with a stick.
Yeah.
I can hear the joy in your voice and see it and hear the smile on your face.
Yeah,
You know, when you meet them, you know, they're phenomenal. And people, the pundits will tell you, if you're a fan and you want to stay a fan, maybe you should meet your idol. Maybe you should meet him, and maybe you should meet him. I did not expect the way that some of the other entertainers have embraced me. And I mean, I don't get starstruck, you know, because we're all in the same business. I am just
What was your favorite that you
I nope. That's like asking me if I had 48 kids, which one was the favorite? Because I could tell you my favorite band of all time is Earth, Wind and Fire and Prince. I have to put Earth, Wind and Fire and Prince, and my favorite artist, James Brown, hands down. Man couldn't sing, but he could show he was an entertainer. He wasn't, and when you can entertain people, sometimes we don't care that you can't sing, you know, and his spirit was so big. I had the pleasure of meeting him, and his spirit was so big. And you think these people meet millions and millions of people. Well, I had met him before. And so we had went to a concert, and the first time I met him, it was in a small environment. I met him at a radio station I was working at. Next time I met him, we were in the VIP room, and everybody sitting around there, followed all over him and everything. He comes up to me. He said, "Hey, very good to see you." I said, "See, I understand James Brown speak now." He said, "Hey, mother love, I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to see you. It's good to see you. I'm glad you have a good time. I'm having a good time." You can only understand every other word, but I got him, and that was really something to me. And if you could, who would you like to meet, living or not living? Who would be the person that you love, that you would like, oh, if they were here? Because let me tell you, and I am going to be taking that phrase that you said. I'm hugging on, you hugged on him like he was all kind of human, funk in human form. What'd you say it is? Funk in human form?
Funk in human form.
Funk, and you know, that's a powerful thing to say. Really, you feel you are funk in human form. And that's how I feel like about Earth, Wind and Fire. They are Earth, Wind and Fire, and they gave me a show. Every time I went to a show, and I probably in my life probably saw at least, I'm gonna say at least a half a dozen Earth, Wind and Fire shows, and they sang the same music, they sang the same song, but every one of them sounded, when they live, they cut up when they live. They act up, in a concert. They be running up and down the stage. You need to go home and take a nap after you come from a Earth, Wind and Fire concert. I'm gonna tell you who I have to say is my favorite single artist. Well, see, I can't say that. He at the top, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson.
What was it like meeting the Whispers? I know you met the Whispers.
Oh, me too. I know them. I know Scotty and him brother, and they look just alike up close. We have they're friends with some friends that we know. They're closer to them because they grew up with them, and they were over at their house. The twins were over their house one day, and so I'm coming in, and I'm having, they go, my love is here, y'all, mother love is in the house. And I'm like, yes, I'm in the house, and I'm coming in dancing, and I come through the dining room, and I come in the kitchen, and these two cats are sitting up there, and I stopped. I was like, y'all look just like the Whispers. The people's house I was over, they bust out laughing. I said, why y'all laughing? Don't they look just like the Whispers? They look just like the Whispers. They look like the twins. And she said, they are the twins. I said, yeah, I know they're the twins, but they look like the Whispers. She said, they are the Whispers. And they got up and they got on one side of me and the other one got on the other side of me and they dweeting in my ear. I was like, oh, it was some lady parts that were doing things that the lady parts shouldn't have did. They should have did it. Then they got them on the radio program. And when they came in, they did the same thing to me that I did to them when I came over to our friend's house. They came in the door, just like if you had told me these cats would have remembered that. So they get in and they go, oh my God, look, man, that's what she looked like, Mother Love. She looked like Mother. I was like, y'all ain't funny. They were funny. And sometimes you meet them and it's like, I don't think, and what people don't understand, and in their defense, for artists to meet their fans, and sometimes they might not be having a good day, and they might take it out. I understand that as a professional. You don't bring your angst up on your job. Your position is you are an entertainer, and these are your fans, and you be kind. You ain't gotta, kiss their behind to get along with them, fall all over. Be cordial to them. Don't be rude, because word of mouth can spread to take you up. Word of mouth can spread.
And help pay your bills.
See, yeah. Yes, and these are the people that you want to want to please. Like I said, you don't have to have everybody all around you all the time. I get that, but be cordial. And I remember I met I'm not gonna say her name, and I could tell from her spirit and the look on her face. We were backstage together. How close I was. And we were backstage, and she was walking up the stairs, and I was walking down the stairs, and I said, hey, and I introduced myself, and she was like, I could see it in her eyes. She was just really in pain, and she just really snapped at me. And I was thinking, she's not snapping at me.
Oh, no.
She wasn't. She's not snapping at me. She's going through something, and I felt bad for her.
Yeah.
And then after she did her set, and I was still backstage. She came backstage, and I asked, I said, are you okay, sweetie pie? And she said, in a kind of low voice, she said, I'm all right. And she actually asked me, did I think she did all right? I was like, girl, you went down there and told the house. Now you still hear them calling you, right? And she just opened up her arms, and she just laid in my arms, and she started to cry. And I took her off to the side, and I just let her. I sat down on the chair, and she sat next to me. She laid her head on my lap, and I just like, get it out, baby. Just get it out. You don't need to have whatever that is in you. You don't need to have that in you. And I'm just happy that she's doing well, because you never know what kind of day somebody is having. But don't be rude to your fans, because they could get you. They could get you. Now let's go back to the music, because tell us what you do with your music, and not because you're a mixer as well.
Wait, say that again.
I said you're a mixer. You mix music, right?
Yeah, I have a show on Mixcloud called the E Groove Love Show.
The E Groove Love Show.
The E Groove Love Show.
Oh, wait a minute. Say it again. I didn't hear you.
Here, E Groove Love Show.
The E Groove Love Show. I'm
The
li-
Groove with Love.
Oh, the Okay, see now I got the Eat Groove with Love show with love. So now, who are your favorite artists to mix? Because I'm fascinated with people that can mix music and take 2 and 3 songs and put them back to back, and it seemed like they were recorded in the studio. What is the because that's an art form and that takes a certain kind of skill set. Talk to people about what that skill set entails, because a lot of young people want to get into the music business, and I want them to know that there are other very lucrative positions that you can garner when you have the skill set in the entertainment industry. And you got a better shelf life than I do, because I'm in front, and the engineers and the mixers and the grips and the gaffers and the people that put all the glitz and the glamour together, they're the ones that are behind the scenes. So you have to have a certain skill set. Tell us about that process of becoming a mixer. Is it iMixer? That's on iCloud. What's the terminology?
Mixcloud. My inspirations for just a couple of DJs who they play certain things, but they don't play other things. And then both old school and new school. And then new school, there's a lot of artists that need to be let out the closet. And so that's what I'm mixing the music for.
Well, I understand. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I said
I'm just playing song to song to song, and then putting the announcements in the middle or whatever.
Now you said getting some of these other artists to come out of the closet. Who do you think, and who do you think needs to come out the closet to make some new music? Even give us some new recordings, because I believe they got stories in them still. Who do you think needs to come out the closet to make some new music?
October London, who's a new one that sounds like Marvin Gaye. Out the closet just means not promoted enough to me. October London, Terry Dexter, who really can sing, but they don't promote her enough. Roy Jenner, who sounds a little bit like Phyllis Hyman. Adrian Young, with an E at the end of the Young, who's a musical genius who works with other artists and does his own albums and does analog, not digital. If you hear him, he sounds like straight old school 70s music.
My kind of music.
Soul.
So, and all of these are up and come. Are they up and coming, or they have just not been able to get out the closet to get the push that they need to get out here in mainstream? Because you would think with the advent of the internet and iCloud and all of these musical outlets that they can get their wares out on, are doing this. Because I'm just flabbergasted. My tongue is not working. Okay, so now what attracted you to a couple of them? What's their ilk?
Because I'm an old school music lover anyway. So any new music I listen to now, to me, have to sound like old school. So these people have the same quality as a lot of old school artists. So that's what attracts me to them.
Now, is that unfair? Because the old artists, I'm just saying, we came up with the Philadelphia sound, with the Motown sound, with the Detroit sound, with the ATL sound. We had sounds. We had the LA sound, and they were pioneers, and they were the ones that putting down the big footprints. And it seems to me that a lot, when you hear about a lot of the good new music, it does reflect on, you could tell that they got their inspiration from R&B. And there's sometimes when they start singing other people's songs and they are not as good as the artist or better, I don't think some people should do remakes. Is it remakes? Yeah. See, because Luther Vandross, to me, and Whitney Houston, God rest both of their souls, were the king and queen of covers music. They could take a song, and Gladys Knight could do it too, take a song and make you forget about who was the original artist. Now, that's pretty darn good. That's pretty darn good. So
Right. And that's the other thing. Old school artists are coming out with new music. That's not being promoted. That's the other thing.
I agree with you with that. I was listening to Will Downey, who I love. Oh my God, I could just kiss him on the forehead. And Regina Bell, and they do a duet called "Change," and I hadn't heard it. I hadn't heard it, and I'm telling you, I sat there. I said, "It's about time y'all made some new music." Shut up, mother love. Who you? Okay, now of the old school artists, who would you like to see make some new music? See, because when you bought a Bootsy, I think they need to be out there in a recording studio making us some more funk. That's just me.
The Whispers are making new music now. It's just not being promoted.
What?
Now I'm trying to think who. The Delphonics
Oh!
made a new album like 2-3 years ago.
Oh.
That wasn't promoted.
I did not
That's
even know
two
that.
examples.
That's terrible because the Delphi, a lot of people are on the planet because of the Delphonics. You know, with the la 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 means I love you. And
Yes.
I was listening to I'm trying to think of who.
Oh,
Who?
Shirley Jones just put out. Shirley Jones from the Jones Girls just put out something new.
See, and we don't get to hear about this. What do you think the pushback is on promoting? Because the internet, you could pretty much sell, sell snow to an Eskimo. If you got the right kind of pitch. And I would think that a lot of them, because they do have the foundation, they do have the background, would want, a radio station or a venue would want to showcase them. Ooh, there's a whole new promotion for us. Let's put a show together with some of the R&B artists that we grew up with. That'd be something. Y'all out there listening, what you think about that, Emily? That's something. Because I would like to do that. I would like to go to see a show, and I wish we could just put it out there and somebody would pick it up. I'm hoping. I don't like words like wish and hope. Why don't y'all get together, put y'all 15 cents together and your 2 pieces of dust. That's what I got, 2 pieces of dust. Bring it and come together and put together a show for grown-ups that we want to go and see. And I know that they work because I went to a show over in LA, and there was people there my age, and they were all. Let me tell you who was we went to see Kool Moe Dee, and he came up. Cool, and it's another one. It was like 3 rappers. It was Kool Moe, and I was like, I don't even like. They came in and showed out. This place was packed. I mean, to the rafters. We probably would have got in trouble with the fire marshal, but the fire marshals was there, and it was like, okay, y'all just keep a path from the stage to the outside door. Don't block up the exits. I would like to see something like that again, because I as a seasoned person, I mean, some of the young music, it's okay. Most of it I don't particularly care for it. Some of it I wish I understood what they said. I always say, if I could understand what Nicki Minaj was saying, I probably would like her. But I don't understand what she's saying, and I don't understand why some of these young guys are so angry in their rap. They're talking about from the streets and everything. Y'all live in Bel Air. Shut up. Just don't even be putting that stuff in other people's faces. I don't even want to hear it, but to see something like that, because like I said, I'm a seasoned person. I don't want to go to their kind of concerts because they don't know how to party like we know how to party. I want to go to a concert with like-minded people. Our biggest situation when we were growing up, the blue lights in the basement, there are no lights on, and everybody all hugged up on one another. And the biggest thing would happen is some guy come and tap another guy on the shoulder, tell me, you holding up too close. There were no fights or anything crazy like that. We didn't need to do that. We went out to have fun. I still want to go out and have fun. And they got some nice clubs that are situated for adults. But then when the pandemic hit, I was like, oh my God. How did you fare through the pandemic? How well did you do? I mean, because we talked during the pandemic too.
I stayed in the house. I'm like, no, I'm not going touching anybody. I got vaccinated. A friend of mine went to all through LA, not being vaccinated, still not vaccinated. I'm like, how do you do that? I got vaccinated and I stayed in the house.
See, that's what I did.
That's what I did.
And because I have a compromised immune system, one day this was
I'm not Jesus. I'm not dying for no.
okay. We don't like y'all well enough, and all I gotta do is put a mask on and some gloves on and disinfect and stay 6 feet away from you. See, and I got to the place, after a while, I was working on not becoming claustrophobic, because I'm a people person, and I need to interact, and I need to be able to touch people, and I want people touching me physically. And my husband became the COVID-19 sentinel. He was like, Our oldest grandson had spent part of Christmas Day with his girlfriend, and so they were over 4 days after Christmas for my birthday. And he was here, and he went into our home office, because these teenagers, they don't want you hearing what they saying. And so he came back, and he called my husband into the office, and he said, "Okay, Papa, I need you to tell." Then I'm his wife. I need you to tell your wife that I've been exposed to COVID-19. He was like, "Okay." He came out the office. "Okay, everybody at the pool." That means get out. When we say everybody at the pool, I'm like, "Honey, these are the kids." He said, "I don't care what they got to your grandchildren. They walk in germ factories. He's been exposed to COVID. Everybody out. Everybody." It's bad when you put your own grandkids out. And he was steadfast about that, and thank goodness, we were able to, fare through that, and be able to help people along, because we took a lot of phone calls to help people get off the roof, because it devastated people. And I'm glad. I'm just hoping it doesn't resurrect, because it's like it was, because they're saying we got to think about COVID is going to be around like the influenza virus. So we just have to deal with it. So now what's coming up next? Now, how often is your Mixcloud, your E-Groove with Love show? How can we hear it? How can we hear that?
Okay, the app is called Mixcloud. And then you go to the search bar and look under, I'll spell it, EGROVEALIST.
A-L-I, wait a minute, A-L.
Look under there, and then
wait a minute, I'm just want to get it right. I'm writing it down. EGROOVEALI. What's the rest of it?
Yes, STIC.
STIC. Is it at something or .com? What is it? Well, which one is it? Is it E-Groove, Astistic,
Holistic.
Oh, you said holistic?
No, E-Groovelistic.
Oh, E-Groovelistic. Okay, so is there an A in it? Okay. Let me get.
I had to put that because there were minor complications. 90 seconds.
Okay.
I had to put that E-Groovelistic.
Okay, so
So
okay.
look under there, and then you'll find E-Groove with Love show. That's me.
The E-Groove with Love show. Well, tell us what's coming up next, because you told me before we go, you had just got a new job. You want to share that with us?
Yeah, at Braille Institute, I got a new job as a receptionist / Braille tutor.
Uh-huh.
I went back to Voc Rehab one more time, and that's for short, getting jobs for blind people.
Oh, that.
I wanted to see, since the technology has changed, would they have something for me?
Uh-huh.
And Wanda, who's the volunteer coordinator, who I call Wanda Woman, she helped with me getting that job. Now, she's Wonder Woman. That's why I call her Wanda Woman. She does everything over there. So between me and my vocal rehab counselor, I got that job. So now it's in training mode.
That's wonderful. Now, how long is your training session going to be for?
It's going to be sometime between now and November. So in November or earlier, I'll have that job.
Well, congratulations. It's a pleasure to talk with you. Stay well, stay safe, and keep playing the jamming music that you do. It's Dr. Mother Love. Love, peace, and hair grease, babies.
Oh, thank you.
Told you she had a great laugh.
Huh?
Oh no,
Thank
what's
you
up?
for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Thank you, my dear.